here we go, here we go. It's taken about, oh, good Lord, I don't know. It's taken quite a few landings. Just promised a couple guys a link. Ethan. Let's see. Nope. And then throw this in. Oopsie. Let's see now. Virtual glue. General. Host. Should one more guy. My good friend Aquila. Do I have him here? There we go. All right. So it's taken quite a bit of landings, but finally licked it. All right. Here we go. Ready when you are, Cat. Thank you, Mark. Let's see how many landings it's taken. Oh, let's try again to get to the server. Am I connected? Give it a minute. So it's taken since, and I deleted a bunch of them on the 6th of August. So since then, 1, 2, 3, and then iPhone 2. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. 46 landings, roughly. Call it 45 because I think there was one where I popped in a live to set the weather. 46 landings, plus a whole bunch more that I deleted, like just replays that were, 2-3 minutes long, final approach sectors. Finally licked it. I got some visual cues down, which we're going to talk about. I need the touches to be on this bad Larry, because it's going to really show where the where you should be looking, I guess. I'm going to do this online because I need to get some landings. Boston's on 22 right now, 17 knot headwind. Do I want to do that while I'm trying to teach people how to land? I don't know if that's the best idea. Well, let's see if it's right down the pike or if it's offset a little bit. Got it. So 234 at 17, so that'd be an extra 6 knots on the approach. So it's 11 knots. Oh, I suppose, well, let's see if we find somewhere else. Let's go to Florida. As long as it's not thunderstorming down there, we'll be good. Let's go to Lauderdale. 150 at 9. Good, that's a little bit offset too. So, all right, let's pop over to a hard stand here. And, we could even do Palm Beach, go up to Palm Beach and just kind of show a flight. But the main thing, obviously, is the landings, right? That's the big thing. 69, 71. Ferry flight. So I'm going to load up here at max landing weight. I'm going to take off above max landing weight, burn it off in the initial climb. So I'm going to go ahead and calibrate. Got it. Get it. Good. Just going to run infinite flight assistant. I do have in-flight ops here to try to get a, what's it called? So that low, master's on, nav light's on. I'm just going to set in a flight plan here. Who's this? What do we got here? All right. Lauderdale. Doty. Let's see. Just punch in a brief flight plan. And then Betpack is on the star. Is it Betpack or Goya? Actually, we could do this. We could do Ului. I believe it's Ogihi, Jeppy. This is the RNAV to 10 left at Lauderdale right here, I believe. I have to check it. Oh, for the love. So we're going to go around. We'll fly the Nav Approach. Plenty of final there. And back to Lauderdale. We'll catch the what's it called that I'm looking for there? So I'm going to set up like 146 and change here, or 147. So we'll set up at 147. Probably be about a 200-pound taxi, and then we'll be max landing weight landing. So let me grab some V speeds here while we do this. Oh yeah, sorry, hub. Let's see. Standby one. All right. I need my phone for V speeds. My air conditioner is rattling away over here. Let me see now here. So 146 or 148. Oh yeah, 147. So we'll see what the speeds are. Flaps 1 takeoff. 148. So we could do 129, 141, or 129, 140, 142. All right, so 129. We can do 141. That's the number for 148,000. And then 142. So we want 152. And then add 5. So 157. So we're looking for 15 degrees pitch and 157 knots. And of course, I got a voicemail. It's probably not that important. All right. Let me just grab a taxi chart and this approach chart real quick so I know what. I think I got to go to 2,000, 2,600 maybe. Let's see. I can unload this flight. I was told by a pilot friend of mine that they really don't use this, but it's easy to use an infinite flight, especially when you're coming in. You don't want to go all the way down to Agoya on the downwind. Approach Nav Y, I believe. Yep. So it's Yalui, Ogihi, Ijepi, Vanui, Sayol. Sayol's at 2,200. And it's 4,300 at Yalui. So 4,300 at Yalui. Ogihi, Ijepi, Vanui. Okay. Direct marts if we have to go around. And the minimums for this are 361. 361. Minimum altitude's 2,200. So we'll go ahead. We'll climb up to 5,000. So it's 5,210 at Yalui. And then 39, 32, 22. So a descent to 22. Coming around the horn here. And then you know what I'm going to do? 6.7. So I'm going to put in Novi, right? Just as a, because we want to, oh, I have it in there, don't I? Oops. How many miles is that? 3.9. Sorry. So I don't know, 1.3. You know, I probably, in considering this, I probably should go out and run the full smash here because, you know, we're trying to do a tutorial, so we should do the full ILS. Change of plan. Sorry, guys. We'll do the full ILS here. I'm not going to go all the way to Agoya, but I'll go down and turn base here somewheres. So give me Agoya. Agoya is way the hell out here. All right, so give me that just as a baseline, and then what we'll do here is we'll turn for Holid. Like, you lose the ILS coming out that way. Pion, Novi, Packy, 813, oopsie, 813, Lauderdale. So what I will probably do here is I'll turn base after, like just before VP EDY here, which is kind of a normal thing to do in Lauderdale. I like the arc. So, all right, let's go ahead and get set here. We'll go belts, no smoking, start logging. We get the V speeds in for the so we're gonna want. I'm just gonna set up some VNav here. To Novi. So after Novi, we want. Just gonna run my V app here real quick. Bear with me just a second, guys. I'm running the approach speed. Okay, so we got 156 at 9 on the ground. So we're gonna be 146 on the landing. Runway direction is 099, I believe. Wind direction is 156 at 9 knots. So I get a green dot speed, 213. So flaps coming at 210. 144 on the V app and 137 on the ref. So 144 there. And then somewhere in here I'll drop it to 190 in selected speed. All right. Let's do this.
Fort Lauderdale Unicom, JetBlue 6971, taxiing to runway 10 left.
All right, I'm on a hard stand. So it's going to be forward and left. So beacons, engine 2. I'll watch her start up there. Let's see here. Take a quick peek at the taxi route while I got the Fort Lauderdale charts out here. Pop up the ILS. Taxi chart. Okay. Turn 2. Turn 1. Stabilize. Go. Fort Lauderdale International. Taxi. Alright, so we are on the terminals there. So we're on Tango here. Flaps 1. Flaps 1. Flaps 1. Trim for like 35%. I have messed with my control settings. So center line is right about here, right? This line on the flight mode annunciator. So this is the center line. So if I go ahead and put the HUD on, you'll see that just about there is the center line. And it's further than you think now. I did come over that. Alright, so we want Tango 2. Tango 5 is over here. And it goes to Charlie. Now, once I get on the straightaway, I'll show you how to line it right up. So Tango 5 goes to Charlie. Indeed. So, right about there, I should be centered. Close. So let's see. If I line this up here, right? Right about there. Let's see what it looks like when we're centered. Alright, so centering there. So it's off center actually a little bit. So if I come there, let's see what it looks like. So your aim point is going to be the outer edge of this line here. Right? Right there. Just kind of smack in the middle. Now it's funny too because it drifts quite a bit in crosswinds. Probably put this on 20 miles, huh? No. So I should still be pretty much on center, right? So take note of this, right? I'm on center line right now, or thereabouts, and kind of I use that flight mode annunciator where the thrust column is, which we kind of don't have in infinite flight. Now see, I feel like I'm getting cocked to the right here a little bit. So if I bring it back like that, no, still on center. Let's see. There we go. Alright, so the important thing's going to be, it is kind of windy here in Boston. It's gusty. Where did this guy come from? Is that transport hub? I knew it would be. Yeah, we all know you flew in an Emirates 777, buddy. Where's my hammer when I need it? I hit the brakes by that. I was wondering why I was bouncing around there. It's alright, I need to burn off about 400 pounds of fuel. I should be under, on weight for the takeoff. Or on weight for landing, just as I take off here. Should burn probably about 2,000 pounds on this. You better not make me go around transport. This is a tutorial. Not all of us can suck up and get beta testing like you can. So this is our beta testing. Alright, we'll put some brakes on now. Alright, let's do this.
Fort Lauderdale Unicom, JetBlue 6971 is taking off runway 10 left, remaining in the pattern.
Landing lights. Strobe lights. So it should be on the line. See how I'm on the line there? It's all in the feel of it. And that should be pretty centered, right? Good there, good there. Transport hub just wants to be a YouTube star. Right, now I'm imagining the wheel is down here, right? Of course I'm moving the view, which I tend to do. Right, come over the center line a little bit more. So we get a pretty good crosswind for takeoff here, a pretty good one for landing as well. It's difficult to get this sucker lined up, and it's easy to go over. So 146, so we're going to use 91%. Hold the brakes, 50%, stabilized, Now maintain the center lane. 100 knots is checked. V1. Rotating. A little bit of rudder, a little bit of rudder, a little bit of rudder. Initial climb. Retract gear. Alright, coming up to 15 degrees on the PFD here. Alright. Let that rudder off. Alright, and notice how we're maintaining V2. Alright. Just trying to hold just 15 degrees. If I get exactly 15 degrees, it'll stick at 157. Looking for 1,500 feet. Alright, there it is. Thrust reduction. About 87%. Take about 3-4% off. Nose back down, right? Going to 250 now. Ooh, a little much. Crank on the bank. Our flaps up speed right now is... Sure, I know this. Oh boy. Getting that speed going. Flaps up speed is 198. And we're looking for, we'll just go right on up to 6,000. Flaps, 0 degrees. Now, what I find really difficult about this is the nav mode. Like trying to fly by this map. So what I try to do is I'll do this, right? Alright. Betpack, I said it was 210. I should have done... Oh, actually we're on a Goya now. So alright. We'll just stop the climb at 5. Now notice that they fixed up the infinite flight. Clean up the map here a little bit. They fixed up the auto thrust so that they fixed up the auto thrust pretty well. So let's just go. We're on left downwind, 10 left.
Fort Lauderdale Unicon, JetBlue 6971 is on left downwind, runway 10 left.
And let me see what I got for speeds here at the different waypoints. So I have ILS or low 10 left. I got Pion at 2,500. The intercept height is Novi 1,800. So we will go ahead on down to 1,800. And we'll go to 2,500 actually. And I'll turn outside of Pion. So I'll turn for Holland. I won't go all the way to Agoya. And I'll bring it down to, actually, technically we should be, with the weight we're at right now, we should be at flaps 1. Flaps 1. There you go. Alright, 2,500. And my trim's way off. And I can bring in the range a little bit. So I'll go ahead and take the heading here. That's interesting. The wind up here is 226 at 9. Let's get 1,000 on that, maybe 1,500. Let's get 2,500 to go. I want to turn for Pion, or turn for Holid. which I believe is also 2,500. Yep, 2,500. 20.8 nautical miles out. So let's go ahead and set up the source nav 1. It's 10 left. Okay, get rid of that. How many miles is that? So I'll try to make my turn in between Hulled and Pion. We're coming under the glide slope now. Alright. Let's go ahead down to 2. Set speed 190. Alright, bring that speed back. Call base.
Fort Lauderdale Unicom, JetBlue 6971
so we're
on
below
base,
S speed at 198, right? So 198, we're gonna go flaps 2. Now watch when it catches the, you don't really have to punch her in and out anymore. Watch this, see that? Cranks it right on up. It's beautiful. Alright, so leveling out. She might bounce around a little bit. She may struggle to maintain the altitude. So let me just activate Pion here so that when we get down there, alright, see how it does hold. Yeah, see, it's bobbing.
Fort Lauderdale Unicom, Southwest 1314, taxiing to runway 10 left.
Alright, let's keep it coming around here. 120. Forget what the course is. 096. So we want 136. No, sorry. Yeah, 136. No, 126. There we go. So we're going to start intercepting the loc here. And here we go. Stick it in nav. I'm basically waiting for that glide to start coming. And the only reason I got it in nav, right, and I should be doing 170 now to Novi. Does bounce around a little bit, especially when you're trying to adjust the trim here. See this bouncing around? So remember, Novi is 1800, so we're going to intercept that glide a little bit before Novi. And here she is bouncing around at 170 knots, can't maintain the altitude even though she was level. When she could do it before. The A320, 321's a lot worse. So we got 185 at 10, so straight crosswind. Watch me do this when we land. I'm going to call it right now. I'm going to go for the rudder, I'm going to do that, or I'll go for the throttle and I'll do that. Alright, here comes the glide. So I'll set a minimal descent. So at Novi, right? And she's already crabbed out. Okay, gear down. Gear down. Right, flaps 3. Flaps full. It's easier to just kind of take over here. I've been using about 30% trim on the approaches here, alright? So I'm going to take over completely, set for the thrust.
1314,
right?
holding short runway 10.
No need to hold short, buddy. I can probably land without you. I won't call final here until Packy, which is about a 3-mile final. So, runway is kind of dead center on my screen, right? On my iPad screen, that is. If my iPad's a square from, you know, all these spots, runway dead center, right? Going a little bit high there. I'm going to aim lower, right? I'm just cross-referencing my descent rate, which should be about 800 at 145. 770 something, I think, at 145. Right? It's really easy to go high, and it's really easy to overcompensate. This might not be the best landing. Right.
1,000.
Stabilized at 1,000. Got a wicked crab on there, so the wind's different up here. I might actually even be fast on the ref speed, right? And Packy, final, 10 left.
Fort Lauderdale Unicom.
Right, I'm looking for right there.
One is on final, runway 10 left.
See, it's almost like it overcorrects. It's very difficult. It's been, you know, 50, 60 something landings here to get this kind of where we want it. All right, I'm back where I want to be. Minimum's landing. Okay, now I'm looking at the bricks, right? So I'm studying the bricks. I know I'm a little bit low. All right, now I know I'm too far right or too far left. I need to come right a little bit.
200.
Okay. Auto thrust is coming out. Looking at the bricks.
100.
Right.
50.
40, 30, 20.
10.
Holding it, holding it, holding it. Letting that rudder go. Eesh. Got the applause, brakes under 80, right on the center line. Oops. Cut out here to a hard stand. Landing lights off. Strobe lights off. Get that tail over the ends.
Fort Lauderdale Unicom, JetBlue 6971 is clear of all runways.
Fort Lauderdale Unicom, Southwest 1314 is taking off runway 10 left, departing straight out.
Flaps 0 degrees. So right on the button for 2,000 pounds. Shoot back to the hard stand here. Just grab a gate, and what I'll do is I'll set up a non-crosswind approach next. Did get a little low there at the end. me check out the in-flight assistant. Engines are under 5, beacon lights. Let's see what we got. Let me just end this flight. Yes. Okay. See that? Absolute greaser. 6971. Landing tutorial. Right? The crab is really hard to set up with this, right? Very hard to set up. Save image. Let's pop into images and pop in here. So I was going way downhill at 1,000 feet trying to catch up. So 132, so I was exactly 5 knots under ref. And 4.7, so the nose angle's better. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's do a quick replay. Take a look at the landing. Actually, I might take a look at the takeoff too for you. Alright, so alright, holding that angle. Crosswind, get under the wings, straighten it out, let the rudder off, and then keep it coming for 15 degrees, right? No big deal. Let's look at the landing again. Alright, so here I'm getting a little bit low, right? I'm down at 900, 800. I'm aiming for right here, right? Just outside, right? It's where the nose of the plane's pointed. Right? Flight path vector, I couldn't tell you where that is, but the nose of the plane is right there. Right? And your flight path vector is probably up here somewhere, if I had to guess. Let's take a look outside. That crab. Little bit far down the runway. Bit far down the runway for my liking, but hey, it's it. 9-10 knot crosswind, no big deal. So let's just set up on final here, and I'll crank the wind off so you guys can see it without the wind. It's better to do it, like once without them. Now they're looking at 2.8 right. The wind's changed so much. All right, so I'm going to just change the wind to a straight kind of headwind here. Let's go like, east at 8. All right, let's get so I'm at 140,000. Let me just go back up here and let me recalculate my VREF and my VAP. So 146, so max landing weight. And the wind is now 076 at 8 for a runway heading of 096. 076, 096. All right, 076. At 8. Weights 146. 096. Okay, 145 on the VAP, 137 still on the VREF. So I am looking for 137 when I touch down. 145 we're looking for. Get the trim in. 6.5. Auto thrust speed. Back down we go. Very easy to think that you're low, but you're going high. Alright, here we go. So a little bit of left headwind here. Slightly left. 20 degrees off the runway track. So, again, aiming dead center on my iPad pretty much. Right? A little bit high on the glide path, so I'm going to adjust it down. I did readjust my null zones and my elevator sensitivity with this update. Right?
1,000.
Easy now, stabilized at 1,000. See, I'm still going down at too much of a rate. See down here on my vertical speed indicator? It's about where we want to be. 7.5, 8. Maybe 8.25 because we're up at 100. Almost 150, right? So I'm just adjusting slightly, remember? Aiming with that. Now I know I'm going high because I can see the runway kind of stretch out. It's runway perspective. Right, now I know I'm going low. Just going to pull out of that.
500.
That's getting a little low again.
400.
And just kind of hold it right there. Let it sit.
300.
Still a dot low. Bring it up a little bit. All right, now aiming for the bricks,
200.
right? There we go.
100.
Autopilot coming out.
50. 40. 30.
Oopsie.
20. 10.
I coasted that one. So that's a lot of push and pull right there. It's easy to do. Really easy to do. All right, let's try again. Maybe I should have left that crosswind in there. All right, leveling out as the power comes on. Right. Get her going back down. Oop. It's weird. Oh. For some reason, the weight and balance always resets. There we go. Alright. Okay, remember, the nose of the plane is aiming like right there, right?
1,000.
Stabilized at 1,000. The closer in you get to the runway, the more sensitive the glide slope and the localizer get. Got 1,000 feet down again. Alright, once you get
500.
into the runway, I really wish I could freeze this.
400. 300. 200. 100.
Okay, I'm aiming at the bricks with my eyes.
50. 40.
Right,
30.
30.
20.
I'm looking down the runway,
10.
holding it way low. So that was terrible. That was massive. I got applause for that, but it was a massive float. Right? And this is basically what I've been doing. Going back, looking at the landing. No Eli. Now, I didn't go back up, but I also coasted down the pike. Right? So let's come back to captain view and let's look at what I'm looking at. So right now I'm transitioning. I'm looking at I'm aiming right here in between the 500-foot mark and the bricks. Right? Okay, now I'm aiming at the bricks with my eyes. And if I need to go lower, I look down more. Right? Now I'm starting to look up the runway. And I flared a little bit too hard and kind of held it. See that vertical speed there? So I held it a little too hard and I kind of pulled it out there at the end, right? So let's do one more just for fun, right? Set it up again. And I'll just, 10 right, why not? Who says we gotta go to 10 left? Okay, 145. I gotta set the weight again because the weight's incorrect. That's close enough. No, I don't want to end this flight. Let me just recalibrate and get my trimming. Alright, I Oh man, I wish I could just stop it right here and release. All right, so I'm aiming dead center on my iPad screen, right? But that's not quite enough. It's coming up, so I'm going down, right? I'm going to try to run this completely visual, where I'm just looking at the runway and cross-referencing my instruments. And I can sense that I'm going down a little too fast, right? And my cross-reference on the instruments tells me, yes, I am. So I adjust the trim so that my calibration is kind of off too. There we go.
1,000.
Okay, stabilized at 1,000. Okay, 500 is not enough down. Really easy to go high on the approach here, right? I could do something completely stupid if I wanted to catch up. Because out of 1,000, you can't have more than 1,000 feet a minute. Right? Now I'm drifting too far to the right, or too far to the left. I need to correct back to the right, but I still have that wind. Takes
500.
quite a bit of adjustment. Okay, I'm shifted outside now. I'm on the bricks, right? I know I'm coming down a little bit too fast, so just give it a little pull there, right? Leaving the nose right there, right? I'm gonna bet that the flight path vector is right there right now, right? I'm gonna turn the HUD on. Look at that. See that?
200.
So you go downhill, right? Aiming,
100.
aiming.
50,
Bricks.
40, 30.
Shifting to the end
20,
of the runway.
10.
Off center. So let's just look at that one again. I got the click for the claps. It's hard to try to without having the old replay mode. It's hard to kind of like talk you through it at the same time as trying to do it. It would be way more convenient to say, okay, look here, and then I'd be able to release it, and this is what say this is what I'm going to do. So let's see how we did this here. Oh, it doesn't do that, does it? ATC view maybe? Is that 10 right? So where am I? There I am. I'm not even at Fort Lauderdale, for crying out loud. Oopsie. Still won't put me in Lauderdale. What about that's gotta be Lauderdale. That's Lauderdale. Okay, there I am. Alright. Take a look. See, I'm pushing the nose down there. Okay, angle's good, flaring out. Acceptable. Acceptable, not the greatest, but acceptable nonetheless. Now let's see. Alright, the wind's coming slightly that way. Now, I'm going to find this video on YouTube real quick of an A321 landing in Queens, right? If I say JetBlue, that's probably the one I want. John from Queens has the video. There we go, right? So let's take a look at this. It's an A321. So he's coming in, rounding out now, right? 3-1 right. Just kind of holding it there. See that? I'm going to pause this in a second. So he's past the bricks. The bricks are over here. Okay, there's the brick, right? Sorry, no, there's the brick here, right? So he's going, he's going, he's going, he's going, he's going. And just holding that angle. So I guess it's acceptable, right? So let's see how that looks from that side. So pop in a free mode and see what it looks like here. All right, so John was about at the bricks. Great YouTube channel, by the way, John from Queens. Highly recommended. All right. Let's do this. Like to get a little bit. What? Okay. Get the keys. I'm live here. Thank you very much. Says the person who bothers the hell out of me when they're live wants to complain. All right, so that's about the angle we want. So, try to tap in on the plane here. There we go. And there it is, rounding out, holding the flare. Does not look like I went back up. Kind of does. Maybe I did. Don't think I did. Go right on sideways. No, just kind of a hold. 0 FPM. So the one other thing, I mean, it's basically all about the sight picture, right? And it's taken all of these landings, you know, I mean, you saw the numbers. It's halfway decent. Just keep at it. You know, the little tips I can give you here are nothing compared to actually doing it yourself. That's the important thing. I did have one that was really good. So let's try to watch. Maybe I think it's this one. So let's watch this one back and see what it looks like. Right, so see how it's dead center? If you could see my iPad right now, you would see that pretty much the runway is almost dead center on the iPad. Right? And see how that runway looks? There's gauges online that even tell you if the runway looks flat, you're low. If the runway looks long, you're high. Right? Is it that or the other way? It's a sight picture, right? We're used to using the HUD. You know, we talked about that in the last stream. But now we've got instruments to go by, right? So you got to do instruments plus visual. I hear approach mode. I never use it. Every time I've tried to use approach mode, even in fog like it's supposed to be used, it's just yanked me all over the place. I've not tried the new one. It just doesn't seem to want to catch that glide. Because the way we fly at Virtual Blue, we do it just the way the real pilots would, as far as intercepting and whatnot. So, see how the runway kind of is, I don't want to say equilateral or equalized in the view here, right? And it's pretty much dead center, right? And you're pretty much on center there as well. So, as you come down, you gotta watch your vertical speed. $750 to $800 down should do it, right? Now see how the runway's still got that same kind of sight picture? Draw a line to the runway. And of course, you should be 2.5 degrees up angle, right? And look at bang on the money. But We're going a little bit high here. So I can see how the runway kind of looks a little longer now. And now we're adjusting to the right. I don't remember what the wind situation was for this particular landing. But it's a gentle, okay, I'm going 8 and change back down now, right? I still got a red over white. I'm only about a half dot high, right? Okay, I've got my lineup now, right? Here's my lineup. Go into HUD and show you, right? There's my lineup. Right, we'll go captain, pause, HUD. Right, so I'm coming back again. I think I had a little bit of a crosswind here. Right? Runway's getting long in my sight picture, so I know I'm going above glide. Right? Look at pushing down. Okay, now under about 500, I'm looking here, right? So let's pause that for a second. Okay, I'm looking at the first set of hash marks. Not the piano keys, but the hash marks, right? Look where the HUD is. Right where it would be on a normal approach if you were using the HUD, right? Come back here again. Right? It's all about shifting that aim down the runway about 3/4 of the way down the runway. Right? So now I'm aiming right here. I'm going to pause that. Go back to the HUD. Right? I'm aiming a little low, and look at where we are actually. We're a dot low. But that's okay if you've got visual contact with the runway. We're going to be 50 feet right there. We should be 50. Right? Probably about 30 right there, actually. And now, the flare's coming. Right? So I'm looking down the runway. Right? Down the runway. And just holding my picture, holding my angle. Right? I rounded out a little early. Should have held it another second. But as you can see, I was on center. And I didn't go back up. Do I have one more real good one? Did I star? No, apparently not. Maybe it was the one before. I mean, I did one where I hit the bricks on the money. There it is. And remember, this is from a place where you're low, right? This is from being low. No, I wasn't low. I went over. Where's the one? Let's see about this one. I look low here. Yep, so if you're going low, right? That's the one I was looking for. Came off center, of course. Right? Aim in the center of the plane there. And I believe there's the kick. And I didn't hold the rudder effectively. See how I didn't hold that rudder? I let up on the rudder there. If I had not let up on the rudder, should have been on the center line. So basically, that's how you do it. You just got to learn how to aim it. And that's all I can say. Without having the solo mode, the old solo replay mode, I really can't do better than that other than saying, keep at it. Keep smashing away at the landings. And you'll be just fine down the line. All right? So that'll be that for this stream. Also, we have a new challenge flight the RNAV at Juneau. We have the Alaska Airlines chart for that. So the next JetBlue Challenge approach will be the RNAV RNP, which was the first ever in the United States anyways, RNAV RNP approach. Alaska Airlines pioneered that approach. Really great scenery out there too, by the way. All right, have a great day. The Virtual Blue thread should be up on IFC very soon. They're just putting the finishing touches on it now. The first 5 pilots that apply and get a 100% score on our entrance exam via the IFC will receive a copy of In-Flight Assistant by John Goring. First 5 pilots, and if you don't have that, we'll try to work something out for you. Maybe we'll get you a like a 1-month sub or something like that. First 5 pilots will get either In-Flight Assistant, excuse me, by our good friend John Goring, aka Ipaga. Virtual Blue is powered by his apps. We use In-Flight Ops. Virtual Blue pioneered the concept and the design of In-Flight Ops, and John so graciously brought it to life for us. And we highly recommend that all Virtual Blue pilots spend the 15 or 20 bucks and get all the in-flight purchases or in-app purchases in In-Flight Assistant. It is an absolutely smashing app. It's amazing. It makes the flying and infinite flight so much better. I can't even imagine flying without it. So have a great day. Thanks for tuning into the stream. This will be up on YouTube shortly. And if you see Transport Hub, send them a hammer emoji from me.